Ever since 1.18 came out, my creeper farm kinda sucks. So in today's video, I built a way better creeper farm and then hid it inside a floating castle. Grab your snacks and let's get right on into it. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the hardcore world. Now, unfortunately, we have a couple problems, and the cause of those problems is this creeper farm. Now, first of all, now that 1.18 is out and there's more caves under here that I haven't explored, it doesn't work that well. And that is a problem because I need gunpowder. I only have this many rockets. I think the last time I ever saw this shulker full was probably a year ago. And the other issue is, it's just ugly. Look at it. Like, this thing is just, it's so bad. I really hate this thing. We have this entire medieval city, and then just out the corner of my eye, I can always see this thing. So, for today's video, we're going to be making a massive creeper farm and decorating it with a huge floating island. I do need the gunpowder for rockets, but I also need it for a few other projects down the line. So first of all, as with any video, what we are going to need is materials. I've got a few shulker boxes here in the most exciting colors known to mankind. And for the creeper farm, we are going to need a lot of blocks. Obviously, it doesn't really matter what we build it out of, considering it's going to be all covered up by the floating island anyway. But honestly, I don't think I even have that many blocks apart from dirt, and even I'm not going to build it out of dirt. That's just gross. So first of all, what we are going to need to do is gather up a bunch of stone. And that is going to be the beacon all set up. I did line that up properly, I think. Yeah, I did. So if we just power this thing up with haste 2, bash down a couple shulkers, and it's time to start mining. Considering we're going to be using stone for both the farm and the island, I reckon we're going to need maybe 20 stacks. But with me, I feel like I always underestimate how many materials a project actually needs. Like with that nether project we built last video, I thought that was going to take maybe 2,000 netherrack. And in total, it took like 10,000. It was ridiculous. So this time, I'm going all out. I do not want to run out of materials a single time. I'm definitely not going to be able to stick to that, am I? There's so much redstone ore here. I'm going to have to collect some. Back to the stone grind. That's one shulker full of stone. And now we move on to the next. I think I want a couple roofs on the floating island city to be made of granite, so I'm actually going to grab a bit of this. Now, I know a lot of you aren't the biggest fans of granite, but trust me, I'll make it work. Probably. Some of the things I've built with granite have not been particularly pretty. Also, if I sound a little bit different in this video, it's because I'm now recording in a new room. Essentially, my room was being redecorated, so the room I've been staying in for the last few months is the spare room, and it's a lot bigger, which means there's a bit more echo in there. So now that I'm back in the old room, hopefully the sound quality should be a bit better. Ooh, diamonds. Wait, is it 1? It better not be 1. Yes. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see you, Minecraft. I see you. Thought it'd be a 1 vein, but it's 6. Now that 1.18 made the lighting changes, I'm not sure how many torches I actually need to put down. I just spam them everywhere anyway, but I feel like I think I'm using the right amount, hopefully. We got the Totem of Undying, and I'm moderately good at this game, so we'll be fine. Also going to need to grab some of this coal because I'm currently undergoing a shortage of coal. Over 1,000 days in this world. Coal shortage. It's just a problem. It really is. Yeah, it doesn't take much to entertain me, alright? I never matured past the age of 8. And that is going to be 2 full shulkers of stone. We got this one, and we got this one. And then we got this one just kind of full of random stuff. Will it be enough? No. I think that's all we're going to need for now. My pickaxe is kind of on life support, so it's probably time to leave. So the worst part about beacons is just taking the whole thing down. It takes forever. So we have got a lot of stone. That is nice. But unfortunately, what we are also going to need is a stupid amount of trapdoors. I have no bone meal left. That is not good. Make ourselves a whole bunch of bone meal. Okay, yeah, that should okay, I think I've got enough bone meal now. And now if we head over to the designated tree chopping area, it's time to get to work. Grow now. Where did you come from? No. Just no. We've got a decent amount of wood, and it's only half of what we need. The life of a lumberjack is not easy. I just remembered I need to get my pickaxe fixed up, because otherwise I'm going to completely forget and then use it, and it's going to break, and I'm going to be really sad. Alright, let's start crafting those 1,000 trapdoors. Right, I think this should be enough. Now that we have the basic materials like the trapdoors and all the stone, we can start working on the more specific blocks. And now we should have enough to build the creeper farm. This should be all the materials we need. Before I forget though, let's go visit the villagers. Also, I swear I get like at least a comment a day saying I can't pronounce the word villager. Yes, I can. See, I just said it, villager. Like, I don't understand what you guys are hearing. but I am saying villager. And that's the pickaxe at full durability. Although the melon supply is running a little bit low, so we might have to go top these up. Shut up, zombie. Shut up. Shut up. This guy he's so annoying. There he goes. There he goes again. There he is. Let's chuck all the emerald blocks in there. We got a nice collection going. And now if we just go visit the pumpkin and melon farms. We're not exactly short on pumpkins. So let's grab some of those. Let's get this bad boy all topped up. That's the melons all topped up as well. So we're good to go. The most important thing for this farm is that it's built above the ocean. I think this spot right here should work perfectly. If we build up from the ocean floor. Now we need to go about 200 blocks in the air for this to work. So, might as well get started. So this right here should be high enough. So first of all, we're going to need to work on the areas where the creepers are actually going to be taken out. Also, burning my feet is not my idea of fun. So then we're going to extend it out, make it a bit more thick. Also, these magma blocks are so annoying. Like, it takes forever, and if you want to try do this a bit faster without sneaking, you just start frying. You just start becoming bacon, mate. Talking of bacon, I am starving right now. Right, that's the magma blocks done now. So next we're going to need to build a wall to, you know, make it dark and actually have creepers spawn in here. I know the comments are going to be talking about how I have the bridging speed of a prehistoric tortoise, but I don't play Bed Wars, all right? Like, I'm not a Bed Wars guy. Being able to go faster than 3 miles an hour would be kind of nice, though. I'm not going to spend too much time focusing on the farm because the main thing of this video is the floating island. That's what we want to build. We're actually going to need some water for this. Let's just jump all the way down. If we grab a few buckets of water. Oh, that looks kind of cool. It's like a massive X. You still get burnt even when you're in water. That kind of doesn't make any sense. Ow, 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 ow. So right now we just have to set up a little water system which is going to push the creepers off these platforms and into our lovely sauna down below. Hopefully they're not aware that the sauna does not issue refunds. And then what I've got to do is replicate this, like this whole floor design, over and over again. You're probably beginning to understand at this point why this farm is just going to take absolutely forever. And then if we add the roof on just like this, the exact same as the other floor. And now here's where those trapdoors come into play. Now with all these trapdoors added, only creepers will be able to spawn in here. I mean, spiders will spawn as well, but there's not a lot we can do about that. But for the most part, we will be getting creepers in here. Water's going to come from this dispenser, push them off, and down they'll go. And now what I have to do is build this exact same layer about 7 or 8 more times. And that is exactly what I did. I wanted to make sure that I would never run out of gunpowder ever again, which is why I built so many layers on this thing. Now that we have the whole farm complete, we just got to go down and add water to all of the dispensers. It's kind of dark in here actually. I hope nothing spawned, because if I drop down and just get blown up by a creeper, that would not be much fun. And that should be all of them. Yeah. So if we take out these torches too, see if we can fly out of here. Yeah, we did it. And now what we got to build up here is a hopper clock. I gotta be honest, my grasp on redstone is similar to a caveman's grasp on Wi-Fi. I don't know anything. Maybe that is a little bit harsh on myself, but you know, we gotta be realistic here. You know, I think I've done something wrong. Why is the water not turning off? The water's not disappearing. This is bad. I've messed this up somehow. I'm gonna have to figure something out here. This hopper clock, it doesn't work for some reason. I've been messing around with this for a while, and for some reason moving the clock back by literally just 1 block, it just works now. So I'll take that, I guess. But now that we have that done, it's time to cover up these holes over here. We just got to add a few torches here and there just to make sure no mobs spawn on top of this. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. I would go as far to say it's just a tad ugly, just a little bit ugly. But you know, that's fine. That's why we're going to be building an entire floating island for this thing. But there is one last thing which we need to do, and that is we need to build a little collection system. There's not a lot of point to making a creeper farm if you're not even going to be able to collect the drops. Now that's pretty much everything set up. The only thing is we need to get this hopper minecart moving. If we put a trapdoor here, whack that, then we just crawl along, give the minecart a nudge, and there we go, job done. And now that should be the entire farm finished. But before we start actually building an island around this thing, it's probably best to make sure it actually works. If we just go up probably like 20 or so blocks, and then we can do a little AFK test. So that should be high enough. Right, I'll catch you guys in a minute. I'm gonna go get some food. Alright, well, I'm bored, so let's go and see how many drops we got. It's only been like 10 minutes. Ow. You know what? I'll take that. That's decent. So most importantly, we know the farm works, which means it's time to start decorating it. The only problem is, do you remember the amount of stone we had at the start? This is all I've got left. There's no way that's going to be enough. Back down we go. I'm going to need to set up a new spot because from here, like the haste isn't going to extend much farther than over there. So let's just dig straight down and hopefully I don't fall in lava and die. That would be nice. I'm not going to bore you guys with more stone mining, so I will be back when I've filled up at least 2 shulkers. Finally, that is 2 full shulkers of stone. Ooh, there's a slime down here. At some point, I could make a slime farm or something. There's more slimes, and they're over there. Okay, so this area here somewhere is a slime chunk. Oh, sorry, mate. Just mark this out. So this is a slime chunk. So at some point, I'll make a slime farm here. That'd be pretty cool. I'm getting sidetracked. What I need is some tough blocks. So I'm just going to dig straight down and just see if we can find a cave. Because I want to be able to texture up that island with a bit of tough. Let's just grab a bunch of this. I didn't realize it spawned in such huge clumps. Like, I thought it would spawn in maybe like 10 to 20. I only need this stuff to texture the bottom of the island. So 6 stacks should be enough. Let's make it out of here. Oh, I've got my chest plate on. We are not saying anything about this. We are not seeing a single comment. So with the elytra on, which I definitely had at the start, let's fly out of here. Not crash and die. That would be really cool. In order to get the correct shape for this thing, I'm going to have to start pretty far down. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to build sort of a rough skeleton frame of the island that we can then fill in. It's going to be really hard to get this thing to look natural. Like building an entire floating island, I have never done something like this before. Actually, I think I built one on my Xbox when I was like 7 and it just looked terrible. And we've already reached a problem, which is that right now, this isn't going to fit. The way I'm building, we're going to cut through here. It's going to look bad. Time to start again. Does this look really far away? Yes, but hopefully it's enough. I think we might just be able to squeeze through. Oh no, we're not going to make it, are we? Wait, are we? Possibly. Hold on a second. Oh, look at that. Just about fit through. It just about makes it. That is cutting it ever so slightly close, but we can make it work. So if we fly out and give it a look, yeah, that looks believable. So now what we have to do is just keep building up and build the rest of the skeleton. I think that works. That looks reasonable. Now we just got to build 4 more of these skeleton things and then we're good to go. So actually so far isn't as hard as I thought. As long as I just keep building this frame, it shouldn't be too bad to fill in. Oh, and I've messed up. That's 3 of the supports done. It's looking pretty good here so far. Also, as you can hear by this, the creepers are dying even as I work on this farm, so I'm going to have extra gunpowder. And that should be all of it done. So now the next thing to do is to start building the entire island. We're going to have to make sure this is well lit inside because otherwise we're going to get some pretty unwanted visitors. So it's been about an hour and I've done one side. It's looking pretty cool though. It is looking pretty cool. I've got tough at the bottom, cobblestone in the middle, and then if I fly right up to the top here, we have a bit of andesite. So we've got this really nice gradient. Alright, and that is the second part done. And yeah, look at that. That looks sick. I mean, as long as you don't take a look at the back. You know what? It's time to just get this done. We need to fill out all of this side. I'm gonna need new fingers by the end of this. I've placed so many blocks. I may no longer have a functioning index finger, but hey, the island looks cool. The scale of this thing is honestly unbelievable. I ended up using well over a double chest full of stone. So we have finally got the entire island done. This whole thing is looking crazy, although there's a magma block over here which I haven't covered up. If we just take out that block, chuck a bit of stone in, glitter in the ocean. Don't do that, kids. And there we go. Good as new. But yeah, as I was saying, the island is looking amazing. Although I haven't lit a single bit of this up, so the next step is to go around and make sure no monsters can spawn. Because obviously this whole island is going to be covered up and we don't want a bunch of monsters spawning in here and meaning the creeper farm won't work anymore. This build has kind of already gotten out of control, so hopefully we have enough torches. It's also not exactly easy to navigate. That's the other problem. I'm sure I've missed a whole bunch of spots, but hopefully that's enough. And now the next step is to pick up a whole bunch of dirt. I am really running out of shulkers. This is a problem. To be honest, what we're going to do is something I like to call littering. So we just throw these, we just throw it all on the floor. And there we go. Look at that. It's basically just cleaning, but instead of putting stuff away, you put it on the floor. It's good to actually have enough of something. Like, I may not have any stone, but at least I've got grass and dirt. And back we go to the farm. Oh, look at it just come into view. That's sick. And now what we're going to do is grab a bunch of this coarse dirt and the regular dirt, and we're just going to go around and fill out this island. And now that we have the second layer of dirt, it is time to finish it off with the grass. As I start, I'd also like to apologize to myself and mostly my index finger, because it is not going to work after I've finished clicking 1,000 times to cover this whole thing. First layer of the island's done, but obviously we're not just going to leave it flat like this. I mean, I don't know much about the outside considering I'm a hardcore player, but you know, I'm pretty sure that grass plains are not completely flat. So we're just going to take some of the dirt and start extending this up by maybe 1 or 2 layers. You know, this project is getting a little bit out of hand, but it's fine. I am going to be building this up a few more layers, which means all these blocks, just all of them. It was a waste. Why did I put all of these down when I'm just going to build over them? Like, even I can't even fathom how my brain works. You know, I've been thinking, like, originally I was going to build a city or a village or something, but what would be way cooler is if we had an entire castle. Like, can you imagine an entire floating castle? That would be so sick. And that's the outline done. So now we got to spend another couple hundred blocks filling all this area in. But first, I'm going to bed. Oh wait, no I'm not. And now let's get to right clicking for the next 30 minutes. Okay, so now that we finally have an area to start building, we can begin work on the castle. But in order to build a castle, we need materials, which means it's time to head back home. So what we're going to want is a whole lot of stone, and actually let's make some stone bricks. I mean, we have a whole load of stone, so I'd be really surprised if this isn't enough. I know, I say that every time, but I think it will be enough. I'd also like to use some spruce logs, so let's grab a bunch of these. And also we are going to be using some granite, so let's get plenty of that. The only thing left that we really need is a bunch of oak wood. I've got a few ideas for this castle in my head, and I think it's going to turn out really cool. The last time I built one of those, I was probably about 12, so my last castle was not exactly a looker. In fact, I think it bore more resemblance to a shoebox than a castle. So hopefully now as an 18-year-old, I can maybe make something a little bit better. I reckon we're probably going to need about 3 stacks of oak wood. It's basically a staple in my videos that I'll run out of materials almost immediately, so I really want to avoid that this time. I mean, I say that every time, and I never have enough, but maybe this time it'll be different. Am I the only one that just leaves these big trees hanging? Like, I really can't be bothered to track down every last piece of oak wood. Maybe I'm committing a Minecraft crime, okay? Like, I'm sorry. And now that we have all the materials we need, it is back to the island. Kind of looks like a giant Dorito. And now what I need to do is make a plan of the entire castle. With a castle, you just absolutely have to get it planned out. There's such a big build, you really need some kind of plan before you start adding in the crazy walls and towers and whatnot. There's going to be 2 different types of towers, so I've marked out the first in white and the second in orange. And of course, this purple represents the walls. I don't want the castle to just be the same thing all the way around, so I think I'm going to add some much bigger buildings at the back. So we have the general plan for the castle. I did also run out of white concrete powder halfway through, which is why half of this is purple, but you get the general idea. We got the towers going all the way around, and I think this is going to be some kind of like grand hall or something maybe, and then this will just be another huge tower, something like that. And now let's get to work. I think what I want to do is go for this kind of alternating andesite and stone brick pattern, because I think it looks really nice. Great castle, good job guys. Okay, see you next video. Okay, now for real, let's keep working on this. We're not actually going to be using these towers or anything, so it's alright for it to have only 1 block of space inside. We'll give it a bit of depth so it doesn't just look like a giant stone box. In order to break up from all this stone that we have on both the towers and on the island, we're going to bring in some good old oak wood. And then finally we are going to add the roof, and that is where the granite is going to be coming in. And we're going to go for a traditional kind of pointed, like wizard kind of castle type roof. If that made any sense to you, please let me know, because it definitely didn't to me. And then just like that, that should be done. I mean, it's kind of hard to see, but maybe if we go back here, we'll get a better angle. But yeah, I really like how that looks. And now that we've got the first tower done, we need to build the same thing right there. I think I'm going to do some kind of edit. So maybe if I look at it, And I turn away, and would you look at that, there's another tower. But now that we have these 2 towers to form the gateway, it's time to build the arch in between. So we'll just go with a standard stone arch for the middle, but obviously that looks a bit boring. So what I'd really like to do is add some kind of walkway on top. And of course, whatever we do on that side, we have to mirror on the other side. We gotta keep the builds consistent, just like my upload schedule. Yeah, I think I like that. I think that looks pretty good. We are also going to add a little roof onto this. Nothing too crazy. And next up, it's time to get to work on these smaller towers. For these smaller ones, it's not going to be anything too crazy. We're not going to have any of the wood or the granite. It's just going to be super simple. Just some stone bricks along the top like so. Although in order to add a little bit of detail to the sides, I am going to put a little window on. And yeah, there we go. Basic castle turret. And I think this time, instead of doing the look away, we're going to try something different. I'm going to snap my fingers and then say the magic word, which is subscribe to Mozi. That's a very specific magic word, and it's going to make a new tower. So let's give it a go. Subscribe to Mozi. I guess the spell worked after all. Wow. So now we've got these towers, we've got the front done, except we need a wall. We need to build this up, because otherwise, imagine we had some intruders. Right now, the defense can basically be defeated by doing this. And that's not good enough. We need a wall. So how would I go about making a diagonal wall? I'm going to make it 3 blocks wide just so it's not super thin because, you know, we need a strong wall. Once again, it doesn't really matter that this you can't like go inside here or anything because it's just for decoration really. I want to try and mimic the walkway design somehow and I have a few ideas. I'm not exactly great at building diagonal, but I think that works. We just got to put a roof on it. Let's use the dark oak again as kind of a border. I've just realized I need to build this on the back as well. This is actually kind of hard because I have no idea what I'm doing. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's diagonal building, man. Like, come on. And if we just add on the granite for the roof like usual. Oh, this is going to be a problem. This block's in the way. I mean, if we get rid of it, no one's going to notice, right? Apart from all of you watching this video, obviously. And the roof is done. Although, I kind of feel like this bit's a bit basic. But if we throw in a bit of cobblestone to spice it up, it should look fine. And now, just like we've done with this tower here, we're going to have to copy this wall to the other side. That's the first part done. That is the wooden walkway done. And that is the roof done. But have I done something wrong here? Because I didn't even need to go underneath a tower like over there. I think I built this too low, haven't I? Oh, I have as well. I'm so dumb. It is a little bit annoying, but it's not the hardest thing in the world to fix. I wonder how many of you noticed earlier and have just been really annoyed for like the past 5 minutes. But rest assured, now that tower is the same height as the other one. And from the front, it kind of looks like a completed castle. I mean, as long as you stay around the front and don't look too hard and definitely don't go to the front because, yeah, it is looking good though. I want to make these smaller towers a little bit more interesting and I've got a cool idea. We're going to add a small flag to both of them. It's going to be red, of course, because that's my favorite color. And what I really like to do is kind of make them look like they're not flowing in the wind. They're kind of just idle, just sitting there waiting for a breeze. This is already proving a lot more difficult than I kind of first anticipated. This is Minecraft, so making something out of cubes look like it's moving is really hard. Alright, let's see how it looks. The big reveal. I don't know, that doesn't really look like a flag, does it? It looks like someone's laundry. That's alright though, we'll try again. Asked me to build a flag flying in the wind and yeah, sure, no worries. But building a drooping flag, that is something else entirely. Okay, around 10 billion. How does that look? You know what? I actually don't mind that. I think that's pretty decent. I think maybe these blocks on the bottom are a bit unnecessary, so we take care of those. Yeah, okay. Flag done. I will see you guys in a minute when I've successfully Control-C, Control-V'd this to the other side. Shouldn't be too bad now that I know what to do. Although this is me that we're talking about and I did mess up this tower. And that is both of the flags done. I'm going to get rid of the leaves on the side because they make the towers look kind of weird. Before we can start work on these buildings back here, we got to build the wall and these 2 towers on the front, here and here. I'm just going to take a moment while I build this to say that if you have any ideas for my hardcore world, anything you want me to build, let me know in the comments. And who knows, your idea could become a video. We got both the towers and the walls in place, so it's time to start work on these 2 huge buildings. I really don't have a clue what I want to do with these things, so I'm just going to build up and hope for the best. We are also going to have to cut through this tower a little bit, I think. I'm going to make a huge square turret, and then I think I want to have a tower stacked on top. Will I have enough stone for this? Probably not. We've got one of the giant walls done. We've got 2 done, and I think we might have enough stone. That is 3 walls done. We just got 1 more to go. And it's done. Now you might be wondering, Mozi, why have you built a giant stone shoebox? And yeah, it is pretty plain and boring at the moment. So the first thing to do with any boring castle is just add some crenellations, add a bit of design, and usually it makes it look a lot better. I'm going to need to bring in some kind of texture block like andesite or cobblestone because this much stone just looks really bad. Then we're just going to go along the top and add these turrets like so. As I said, this tower is slightly in the way, but we just kind of got to live with it. Now let's just cover the top up like so. It looks slightly better now, but of course it's still pretty plain. I think I want to bring these crenellations and add a second layer of them, maybe halfway along. Wait, hold on a second. There's no way. There's no way. We've run out of stone. Okay, stone supplies are back. We can actually keep working now. I've left more space here because I want to have some kind of grand entrance and then have a set of windows up top. Although first I need to add this on every single side. Now I need to build an entrance. I'm not really sure what I want to do. Let's knock out this. I think I'll use this as like the actual doorway and build an archway around it. Then for the door, we'll go with the classic spruce door and then trapdoors on the sides. It does feel a little bit too small. I think we should extend it up by 1 block. You've got a massive castle. We can't be having a peasant doorway. That just can't be happening. Okay, yeah, that definitely looks a lot grander. That 1 block makes a huge difference. Let's add a little roof on the top to make this stand out even more. Yeah, I really like that. Final detail, we'll add in the granite slabs just like that. And also some andesite here and here. And then some walls on the side. Perfect. That's the entrance done. And now we need some windows. Maybe we go for some arched windows. That might look nice. To be honest, I think that looks pretty good. The final step though is to get a bit of texture on this because as I said, the regular stone just looks a bit boring. Also, it kind of makes this stone look a bit stronger and older, which makes sense considering this is the castle keep, which means it's the strongest part of the castle. I've already added so many details to this, but my inner builder is telling me we need more. We need more details. So I'm going to bring in these stone walls to add even more texture to these walls here. And while the front is looking great, the back is not exactly doing too well. Thankfully, we don't need to do this wall because this building right here is going to completely cover it up, but we are going to need to sort out the back. I will be back with you guys in just a minute because I have some texturing to do. For some reason, I had the Bob the Builder theme tune stuck in my head and I think I'm starting to go slightly insane. I don't care how well he can fix things, I just want him out my head. Now that we got this textured, we can move on to my next idea. This tower is quite nice, but it would be even nicer if we built another tower on top of it. I want it to be in the same style as these ones, but just even bigger with a huge granite roof. I guess we just kind of got to try some stuff and see what works. I should probably light this area up too. I don't really know if I like this, to be honest. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to take this down. We're just gonna have to keep trying until something works. I want this tower to be really big and imposing because it needs to be the main tower of this castle. I'm gonna bring the oak wood up much higher and hopefully it means the tower stands out a lot more. So far it's turning out alright, and now I need to put the roof on. And for this roof, we just gotta make one of these, but a lot bigger. The tower's now mostly finished, and now we just gotta add on the finishing touches. Why can I hear a zombie? Oh, how did you spawn in there? Why? I'm going to try the method of using a fence gate and a campfire to make this little temporary shutter on the top. I think it makes a nice difference rather than just copy pasting those birch shutters down there. Overall, this is looking really good, but there's one last detail we can add. I'm not sure if I actually have enough of the block that I want to use. I was going to use some lodestones, but I only have 2. I mean, I guess I could just put one on the front or something. That extra tower adds so much to this build. I love it. So for the final detail, lodestone there. Okay, we're done with this building. We only have 1 more to go. Well, I mean, and a tower and the wall, but you know, we'll worry about that later. Not really sure what I want to do with this. I think I'm just going to start by building the frame. We got to figure out some kind of design for this thing, and I'm thinking some huge windows. We're going to go 1 block back with the stone here instead of building it like this, because then it's going to give this building a little bit of extra depth, because that gives us space to add some really nice details for windows and also stops it from looking too much like this building. So far, we have a box, but now I need to decorate it somehow and come up with something good to make it not look like a box. I've basically just summed up what building in Minecraft is. And I had this idea, I have so many of these stone stairs, if I just put them like this, it can make this kind of, oh, I don't know the technical term. It'll make this design, I don't know what to call it, but it looks cool. I'm also going to mirror the design up top, because then this gives us the perfect space to add 2 windows, here and here. Alright, I think that's pretty decent. And what I've done here is added 2 layers of trapdoors. And you know what they say, 2 is always better than 1. I mean, unless you're eating pears, in which case you should have none, because they are the worst fruit to have ever appeared on the surface of this planet. Where was I? Oh yeah, building. Went a little bit off topic there with the pears, but I just hate them. I just really do. And there we go, that's both the windows added on. There is a little bit too much stone brick here for my liking, so I think I'm going to mix things up with a bit of andesite. I mean, that's one side done, but we still have this. I will be back with you in just a minute. Right, okay, we got that side done too. I'm not going to really do anything with this side, because there's going to be a tower here anyway, so there's not much point decorating it. And now we can get started on the roof. I definitely want this to be on the tall side, because I really want this roof to stand out. It wouldn't be much of a great hall if the roof was like 3 blocks tall, would it? It wouldn't even be the great hall. It would just be the underwhelming hall. The disappointment hall, how about that? It would be like going to Disneyland, but the castle is just a cardboard cutout. I've been thinking and dreading it, but I think for these 2 buildings, we're gonna have to build the interior. I mean, do I want to do it? No, but would it give this build the perfect finishing touch? Yeah, it would. Yeah, I like how that looks. I'm going to use these iron bars too for this little extra touch on the top. For these roof bits, I'm going to do the same design as my house from the 100 Days in Better Minecraft. You should watch that video, by the way. It took me a month to make. And like always, we got to copy the roof over to this side. Oh, right, that's the roof completed. Oh, it is a bit dark in here. I should probably sort that out. I'm just going to fill this opening up with stone bricks. I don't really have any other good ideas for it at the moment. But before we get the final details touched up on this, we need to build this tower, this wall, and the same thing on this side. Oh, hello, spider. Can you get down from there, please? So as I was saying, we need to get some more walls and a couple more towers done. We're so close to being finished now. Ladies and gentlemen, the entire castle is now fully complete. We've got all the walls, all the extra details. It's looking absolutely amazing. The only problem we have is that when you go inside, oh, yeah, it looks like this. I feel like I've said the final thing about 1,000 times, but this should be the final thing. So we might as well get started. The first thing I did was replace all the grass inside the courtyard with some stone. I added a portcullis and then got to work on making the castle feel lived in. With a small stable, training area and fountain, this section was fully detailed. I then moved on to the interior, where I rebuilt this staircase about 12 times. I added a throne to this hall, as well as a giant gold chandelier. But I wasn't done there. I bone mealed the grass outside, added a stone path, and added some sea lanterns to stop anything from spawning. But I still wasn't done. I even handmade some clouds from white glass to emphasize how high up the island is. And now it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. Now that I've finally finished this build, I think it's time we go check out the creeper farm, because it's just been working away the whole time I've been building this. What have we got? Wait, what?